Hi again, ladies. I am going to mute you all. All right, we'll wait for everybody to pop on here. So tonight's meeting, I'm going to basically run through all the questions I have received. I'll answer them and just keep moving on because I have questions. But I will answer them as much as I can. Okay, people are coming in. Okay, I'm going to give it another 2 minutes because people are messaging if we're going in. So I always give it about that time. And then I'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to get started only because I have so much to cover. First couple of things, I want to remind everyone that all meetings are important. And if you can attend them, please watch them on record. So you guys are doing great. And I'm super excited for you guys to join in the weekly meeting tomorrow night. This is an extra meeting because I figured we'll do a questions and answers, which is what I normally do. But the actual weekly meeting is still Wednesdays. Now, next week, there's a day that it might be different, which I think is next week, because we have tickets to go see a show on Wednesday night. So we'll be doing the meeting on Tuesday, but regardless. Okay. So please make sure you guys are posting in the right groups. When you don't post in the correct group, it gets very confusing. If you don't know what group to post in, message me. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Okay. Here's a question. If I follow IF, remember this is Q&A, so I'm going to bang them out. If I follow IF, I heard you, which you've heard I do. Most days I typically eat all my food in an hour or two window. I down lunch and dinner because it's technically 2 meals, but I eat them at the same time. Is it easier for me to put it in at dinner time, or does it not matter? So it doesn't matter to me what time you log your food as breakfast, lunch, dinner, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3. As long as you get in all your macros for the day and I can see them all, then you're good. You don't have to break it out breakfast, lunch, dinner. But I might ask you, I don't see this, or if you're short macros, I'm going to say, what meal are you going to put it in? I don't necessarily follow IF for any particular reason, and I want to go over this. So intermittent fasting is a way of timing your food. It is not a way to lose weight, which everybody thinks it is. And some people do 16-8, some people do 20-4. If you do a certain amount of spread for feeding time, you have to get tighter and tighter and tighter for it to not make you hungry after a while. So I don't do it for that intention. I've been doing 16-8 for probably 8 years. And I don't follow it the way normal intermittent fasting would work. So although I don't eat till 12 and I finish eating at 8, that doesn't necessarily mean that I do it for any particular reason. It's just easier for me to get in all my food in that amount of time. Okay. Are my macros the same for rest days? 2 days a week, I only complete 30 minutes of yoga. So when you tell me how much you're working out, it is calculated on an average of 7 days. So it doesn't matter if you have a rest day. It doesn't matter if you have a sleep day. It doesn't matter if you have a 6-mile run day. It's all averaged out for the week. So that's what you guys need to remember. There are no such thing as rest days. I mean, there are obviously, but not with your food. We don't cycle our food. The only people that need to cycle food are people that are going into competitions. So unless you're planning on going into a competition, you do not need to cycle your food. Is too much water a thing? Absolutely. 100%. You should not be drinking over more than half your body weight in water every day. If you are 150 pounds, 75 ounces should be your max amount of water. And there are 2 reasons. The first reason is your kidneys cannot function fast enough to get the water out of your body. It cannot process it fast enough. That's when you're going to start to find that you're starting to get pains. And that's basically your kidneys overworking. The second thing is you're going to start diluting the sodium in your body, and your body will start to break down. So half your body weight in water is pretty much max. If you find that you are getting dehydrated, then you need to start taking electrolytes, not necessarily drinking water. Okay, next question. Where can I find the pantry video? All videos are in YouTube, all of them. And there's a search engine in YouTube. Type in pantry, type in food in my kitchen, because that's actually what it's called, I think. Type in share and tell or share food. There's so many of those videos. If you want to see the one of me in my kitchen, I believe it's food in my kitchen. But all videos for the past, I think, 4 years are in my YouTube. And the link for YouTube is under the YouTube link channel group. I'm not hiding anything from you guys. So anything you need is in the app. Once you click it, just click on videos and it'll pull up every single video. It'll pull up workouts. It'll pull up the weekly meetings. I started titling the meetings so that you guys know what you're looking for if you're looking for something in particular. That's where you're going to find it. My goal says to lose weight, but I really want to lose inches. So with macros, you're always going to lose inches. That's the amazing thing about macros. Macros tracking is about body composition changes, shrinking your body. So although even the scale may not move, your clothes are going to feel better. Your body's going to look better, because what happens is muscle and fat weigh exactly the same. And the more muscle you have that's lean, the more fat your body burns. So this could be, let's say, a pound of fat. This is big, by the way. And this could be a pound of muscle. They weigh exactly the same, but this is smaller than this. It's the same thing with our body fat and our muscle. So you're going to lose those inches first and foremost. And a lot of times you might lose pounds 1 week, inches 1 week. The scale may not move. It just all depends on how your body is. What happens when we finish this program? Do you keep us all or do we sign up again for access? So maintenance is what you're asking, I'm assuming. Maintenance means that you have maintained the goal weight that you told me for 3 weeks. No up, no down, maintained it. Once you go on maintenance, I bump up your calories between 300 to 500 calories because you can no longer be in a caloric deficit if you're on maintenance. You can't live life in a caloric deficit. And that means you have to increase your exercise. And I try to tell everybody this. Don't go gung-ho of something you haven't been doing when you join the program, because you're going to have to increase your activity when you get done. It's just science. Now, if you want to stay in the app, there's a maintenance plan and it's very nominal. And I go over that with you when you guys get there. Now, as you progress through the program, the fee goes down. So the normal 8-week shred is plus 1 week is 9 weeks, is usually $139. If you did the mini shred, which is 6 weeks, it was $99. But they go down as you progress. So, and I always have specials and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, next question. What is the difference between regular protein powder and protein isolate? Protein isolate is cleaner. It's processed more. So it goes through more processes before it goes in the container. It has a higher protein content. It has a less carb and a less fat content. It's also more expensive than protein, regular, not whey, regular protein powder, not whey isolate protein powder. It makes you less gassy. So whey isolate is the way to go if you don't do like vegan or anything like that. If you hit your protein, carbs, and fats within the 10, but you still have calories to go, are you okay? So we don't count calories and you want to be in a deficit. So if you hit your proteins, your carbs, your fats, you're in, you're good. 10 over or under proteins and carbs, within 6 for your fats. That is the golden rule. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. How often should we be exercising? Are macros adjusted if we exercise more than what we stated? Do they adjust when weight is lost? Okay, so you should be exercising what you told me you're exercising. If you told me 3 hours, do not do 8. If you told me 8, do not do 3. You guys told me amount of time that you're exercising, and that is how I calculated your numbers. So it's up to you. Now, what I will say, and I have a sheet here somewhere, that the health department I do know this by heart, but I don't want you to miss it either. The health department says if you are trying to lose body fat, you want to get in. So annoying because I'm going to hang this up and it's going to be right here. So I usually keep it right on my desk. So if you want to lose body fat, you need to get in at least 150 to, I believe it's 180 minutes per week. Now, you don't want to be a cardio bunny. Cardio bunny will make you soft and you will not lose body fat. You will lose muscle. So you have to get strength training in your body, which is why I offer doing them on Zoom with me for free. I charge $80 an hour for personal training normally, but you're getting it pretty much for free on Zoom. So take advantage. It's actually $84 for an hour. So take advantage of doing the Zooms with me and getting in that strength training. Talked about fasting. What do I do when I'm traveling? So it depends on if you're traveling on business. It depends on if you're traveling for vacation. If you're on vacation, I want you to enjoy your vacation. Be mindful. Try to track what you're eating. Try to get in exercise. But I don't want you to be a slave to your app. I want you to enjoy life. Remember, you're not on a diet. This should be a journey that you're going to take with you forever and ever and ever. How do I unsubscribe from a group? I don't drink alcohol. You can't, but you can tell me. So if there's a group you don't want to be in, just let me know and I'll take you out. There are a couple of groups that you are going to stay in regardless. It is the important announcements group, the nutrition shout outs, the fitness shout outs, obviously like the carbs, proteins, that kind of stuff. But if you don't want to be in like the alcohol, or you don't eat sushi, or you don't want to be in the memes and motivation group, then just let me know. I'll take you out. Someone said, why did I wait so long to do this? That's funny. What do your daily logs look like? So if you go into the sample group, my logs are there. You can look at what I eat. I've been logging every day for 13 years. I take collagen peptides. Do we need to log it? Yes, you need to log collagen peptides. They can be considered your proteins, even though it's not a full protein. And you want to watch your fibers. And I talked about this in a previous meeting. So you need to make sure you watch those previous meetings as well. Let's see. What is the best way to track food that you can't scan? So you're going to Google it, whatever the food is, and then you're going to manually enter it. And that being said, you have options. You don't have to use the in-app tracking. You can use Fitbit and you don't have to own a Fitbit. You just use the app. It's a very easy app to use. You can create recipes, all those fun things. You can use MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is free unless you want to scan barcodes, and it links and syncs directly to my app. So if you're not a big thing with scanning stuff and you don't mind logging it in, use MyFitnessPal. In-app tracking could get frustrating. It's new. There's things you cannot do in the in-app tracking. So if you prefer to use another app, let me know. I can switch you over. And that being said, you cannot build a recipe in the in-app tracking. You will need to enter each item of your recipe and then label it a favorite food. Now, Jen did a quick video on how to do that in the in-app tracking group. So if you click on the meeting that's in there, you will see she explains to you how to do a recipe. Super simple. A lot of people are using in-app tracking and they love it. So you got to watch the videos because they explain a lot to you. What is the difference between raw versus cooked food? It just depends on how you're going to find your entry. Like sometimes I'll look for raw, sometimes I'll look for cooked. Find the correct entry that matches what you're doing. Is tofu an ideal protein, or is chicken and tuna better? They're all ideal proteins. They're protein. If you don't eat chicken and tuna, eat tofu. If you're tired of chicken and tuna, eat tofu. You can use any of those. And then the cheat sheet group, there are lists: lean proteins, not so lean, super lean, fatty. Use those. Cheat sheets are there for a reason. So make sure you guys are using those. I don't like cottage cheese or yogurt, anything else I can eat instead. Did you watch the protein meeting group? It was last week. The meeting I had last week, I mentioned it was all about proteins. The whole meeting was about proteins. Any of the Zooms, you do not have to watch them, right? You don't have to sit here and watch me. You can be doing anything you want. Like Danae, she's cooking dinner, I think. People are at Costco. People are at work when they're listening. You don't have to sit here and watch me. There's nothing to look at. You can drive in your car and listen to the Zooms. Thank you for laughing, Rosalie, when I said that. I appreciate that. I'm very animated, but you don't need to watch me. Should I buy a scale to measure food? I never tell you to buy a scale. However, this scale will help the changes faster. So yes, I would buy a scale because you're going to learn. Thank you, Janae. Because you will learn what things look like when you weigh it. And eventually you won't need to use the scale. Danielle, who's not in the group right now, in the meeting right now, takes her scale everywhere on vacation. She was taking it to restaurants. You don't have to do that. You can ask what things weigh and measure for sure. Hold on, let me mute again. Somebody got unmuted. Okay. Let's see. Should we log vitamins? Not necessary, but you can. For me, I eat gummy vitamins, no judging. I eat 39 carbs in gummy vitamins every day. because my apple cider vinegar, my multivitamin, my Goli fruit gummies, my sugar bear hair gummies, my sleep gummies. So it all totals up to about 39 grams of carbs. So I have to log it. But if you're not doing gummies, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't necessarily have to log your vitamins unless there's a carb or fat or protein attached to it. Can we add salt? Can we use Splenda? You are not on a diet. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, if your doctor tells you not to eat a lot of salt, then no, don't eat a lot of salt. But if there's no restrictions from your doctor, there's no restrictions from me. Do I have to use Fitbit or MyFitnessPal? We just went over that. Do you have examples of what to eat? So many examples. They're all in all the groups. Look for them, please. I think I pretty much hit all these. Okay. So a couple of things I want you guys to think about every day. Are you hitting your macros within the 10 grams for proteins and carbs and 4 to 7 for your fats? Are you adding alcohol correctly? So when you are drinking alcohol, you take the caloric number of what you're drinking. I don't care if it's a Truly. I don't care if it's a White Claw. I don't care if it is a draft ale. It is all done the same exact way. Now, margaritas and stuff is different, but if it's straight up like that, you take the number of calories, you divide it by 4 or 9. 4 if you're deciding to use it as a protein or a carb, 9 if you decide to use it as a fat. You can mix and match it. You can use some carbs, some fats. There are no such thing as no carbs or a low carb alcohol. The FDA does not require alcohol distributors to put a true nutrition label on their alcohol. So it truly says that there's no carbs, it's bullshit. You take the 100 calories, you divide it by 4, and it's 25 carbs. There's no protein in alcohol. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, this is a high protein beer. It's bullshit. It's either a carb or a fat. You decide how you want to use it. Super important to stay engaged in the app. When you disappear, it's very hard to stay focused. Danae, am I right? Yes. The app has so many great resources, not just me, but there are people that have been in the app for years that have lost over 70 pounds. There are people that have been in the app for years that have only lost 8 pounds because that's all they needed to lose. They stay in the app because of the motivation, because of the accountability. I want you to think of our meetings every Wednesday night like an AA meeting. If you were an alcoholic, you'd be going to meetings. If you are obese, you'd be going to Overeaters Anonymous. It is the same concept. It helps you stay focused. The meetings are super important. And so is posting in the groups and reading things that I post and motivational things. And I post tips and tricks and all those things. So you want to stay focused. Someone asked me if I have to track, you have to track everything. If you bite it, you write it. If you snack it, you track it. I am going to copyright those or trademark those, but everything that you put in your mouth goes in the log. Obviously, plain water, you don't have to log. Just check off that habit. If you want an additional habit of something you want to stop doing or something you want to start doing, let me know and I can add it to your profile. You know, brush my teeth every morning and night, wash my face at night before I go to bed, take my makeup off, read 10 pages every night, meditate in the morning, journal every morning. I'm a big journaler. I journal. I love journaling. Oh, someone asked, where did that go? I thought I printed that. Someone asked about workouts. Hold on, let me find it. Here, okay. Is there a way for me to input an exercise program that I'm doing? No, unfortunately, it's my program. So you can't input somebody else's program into my program, but you can manually log in every single thing you're doing while you're doing it under the freestyle. but it's not, it's my program. So I give you workouts. So you can't put in somebody else's workouts. Now you can do it manually for yourself, but there's no way to build a workout for you. Let's see. I think I actually hit everything. I just want to make sure I'm not going through anything else, missing anything else. If you have an iWatch, make sure you let me know if it's a newer model. I think it's like past 3 years. You can sync it to my app and you can see your proteins and stuff on your face of your watch. I talked about if you message me at night, I'm not going to answer until the morning because I go to bed super early. I think that's it. So we have 5 minutes and I'm going to open the floor. Put your hand up with your Zoom if you have any questions. Go ahead, Judy. Hi, Jody. Go ahead. You got to unbox yourself or unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say hello and thank you for reaching out to me today. I do miss you and I love you, but I am crazy busy at work. They're driving me crazy, but things are getting a little more normal now. You know, I'm a teacher in New York. We just started in September and it takes a few months to get situated. So I'm trying to get back on program, but I am on your app every single day tracking and following you and watching your messages and looking at what everybody's doing.
Good. I'm so proud of you. And I'm happy that you replied back to me.
Yes, I did.
And I'm happy to see you on here today.
Yes. And everything that you said about being active in the app, it makes 100% difference. Being active really helps.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to unmute myself. I'm actually tutoring a student right now, but I wanted to say hello.
Okay.
And I miss you and I am getting it together.
Good girl. I miss you too a lot.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Don't give up. Badass.
So funny. Does anyone have a question? You guys are like crickets. I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to have 17 messages with questions. No one wants to talk. No one wants to say anything. Okay. Tomorrow, when you go into the main meeting at 7:15 p.m., I'm going to have a couple of the previous Shred Tribe members just give some tips and tricks and, you know, give you a little bit of motivation. Hopefully you're seeing everybody that is making changes and you're going to love the Shred Tribe. I know the first couple of weeks is super overwhelming. It's great that you started now because the holidays are coming and it will keep you mindful. The meeting on Tuesday coming up, because it's not going to be Wednesday because we are going to go see Dirty Dancing at the Kravitz Center, will be Tuesday night. And I'm going to be talking about holiday eating and how to get through the parties and the dinners and the family functions and all that fun stuff. So that will be next week's meeting. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys all go since we have been on here for about 30 minutes. If you do have any more questions, just message me and I will answer them individually or at the meeting tomorrow before we get started. So thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have an amazing Tuesday. Also, I know I'm plugging myself, but we got great Shred Tribe gear in. Anne is wearing her shirt. She just started. She's wearing her headband. We have sweatshirts, zippers, hoodies, lots of fun stuff, baseball caps, all that fun stuff. And the proceeds go to Wounded Warriors Foundation. My dad is a 2-time Purple Heart vet. So I put the proceeds to there from Vietnam. So thank you guys so much for coming on. I always end every meeting. Remember, always be badass. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Danae, I miss seeing your face in person.